the new minister of our ministry, the outgoing minister, my sister, the new ministers, including my mother, Jackie Mbawaz, and my big sister, Mommy here, whom we don't laugh, but I always disturb her, Madam Asamu. My mother, sister, Mommy, you're not yet old. You're not yet old. Anyway, I want to welcome all of you to Minister of Gender. Like mentioned by Honorable Betty, this is a Minister of the People. And I want in a special way to welcome you, my young friend. I remember when I came to Aleptong was my last rally, and I had a rally for you in Aleptong two days before election. So I'm happy that you won, and I want to thank the President that among all the choices available, he took you up, because I remember some young people were even campaigning to be ministers of youth. I saw several press conferences that we declared this one to be our minister, and you never did it, but the President thought you'd be the best person to fit in this docket and uplift the other young people. You're a doctor, so empower the young people, listen to them, have an open door policy. By the way, in that ministry, I do even things which are not my things, but people want service. Someone comes and reports you something to do with the PDM, but he's a human being, he's a young man, he's an old woman who was asked 200,000 to get PDM. So what I do, I call Rafael, sometimes I call the cow of a given place like he has done, and I write a letter. I think we have spent more stationery in my office. By the way, my office has no budget. Like General Tumukunde mentioned, there is no budget. And the first way you're going to have, General, hope they open up to you with your ministers and they tell you how much they have. Because I never knew how much I have. I never knew. And that's a fact. But I thank God we have managed to work. I want to thank you, Minister Betty, because here I call you my sister, and Honorable Nyakuna, and all of you, including Peace, for persevering and working as soldiers. Yeah, you have made it. Let us allow others serve in the same dockets. But I will remain in place to support you, Lakesa. Anytime you call me, even at 1 a.m. call me. At least your fiancé knows me, so you can call. You tell him call for me, Balaam. At 2 I will pick. So let's talk. I wish you the best. Welcome to Minister of Gender, all of you. God bless you.
Thank you. Honorable, I want to thank you all, and I want to thank the ministers, my colleagues that I've been working with. I've been here for less than 5 years, like 2.5 years. I came in midterm, and I want to welcome you, the new team. Welcome to the Ministry of Gender. One thing that I have to let you know, that ministers, we are just policymakers. We are policymakers. The people behind us around will do the work for us. We guide them, work with them. This ministry, each of the departments that you're having here, we have very comparative advantage to the services that we are giving to Ugandans. 360 degrees. What this ministry does summarizes what the entire government is doing. If they were to do rationalization in one ministry, they will bring it all here, because you are handling women, the disabled, the children, the labor, everything. Probably it will be only the health sector that is not here, and the engineers, but we also have engineers under OSH department. And then we are serving humanitarian. We must be human. We must work for the people. It's very, very important for this. I know we are going to go to the office, and I'll be able to hand over to my senior here. But let's have a conducive working environment. Minister, I want to tell you the truth. Once you don't have a good conducive environment, these people will not come to work. And they will not give you reports. Bring them closer, interact with them, make them your team builders. You work with them, they will work with you. But if you create a gap, trust me, we're all human beings. Let's conduce. That is true, but we need to work as a team. Allow me to perform, Honorable Minister. Team building is very important. These people are here, they plan, give them an opportunity to work, give them an opportunity to grow, right? I wouldn't want to see my sister Lakisa, after being a Minister of Youth, she has not learned a lot from here, and then she's dropped because you did not lead them well. So it is you to make her to perform well, and together with the team here. If you want to work alone, you let her down. And I think we all know the message I'm talking about here. Bring the technical team. No, I'm not anticipating. I just want to say this because I experienced this in this ministry, right? That's what I want to say. Even when I've gone back, I might also come back. So I want to leave this place when I've not left any nails on my way, so that when I come back, if I'd left nails in OPM, I would be feeling bad that now I'm going back to OPM. So work with the people, don't leave thorns and nails on your way, because you might come back and work again with them. I want to say this for God and my country.
The minister now, for the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, my outgoing minister, state ministers, and then the incoming state ministers, peers, and your technical team. My name is Asamo Helen Grace. I have been a member of Parliament for people with disabilities as well as the minister for people with disabilities. I want first of all to thank God, because who am I to have been in this seat? And it is like it was a miracle to hear your name has been announced as a Minister of State. And after God, I want to thank His Excellency for identifying my capabilities and making sure that I come and serve the people of Uganda. I want to thank the Minister, Amongi Bete. You know, when we came, she was UPC, and I was like, what is the President doing with us with this UPC? How are we going to throw the line of NRM and then you have a UPC on the head? I want us to thank that woman. There was no UPC. There was no UPC in any discussion of any program. Betty, you made me what I am. When people say I was almost everywhere, you really made me like your assistant minister. I want to thank you. Yeah, I was the minister who received Balaam, I received Anyakun on her behalf. So everywhere I was taken there, not because of, I don't know what she's complaining. You know, this is my auntie. So, that kind of making you know, one time I asked her that, I think better I need to go home. Don't you think we are free? Because we came in the middle after COVID. Then you said, you are a full-time officer. I can even call you on Christmas Day. Then I sat and said, what is this woman telling me? Don't I need a holiday? And she said, no, you have come to work. And this is a full-time job. Ministers, when you come, there's no relaxation in this ministry. I told my voters that you don't see me, but you have to sit in that office. Because anytime there's an assignment, there's some work you do with human beings. Because being a ministry of human beings. I want to thank my colleagues. We have worked as a team. We have worked as a family. I know sometimes we have certain things which go wrong, especially with General Tumkunde. I was the minister handling all the policy statements. You'll find Amongi is in the UN, peace has gone to UN, so I'm left here. So I have to juggle all these men and women to make sure that that document meets the timeline of Parliament and then we present on time. I want to thank them that we have not missed. You did it well. And you gave me the respect. No, none of you said, this is a state one. You said, no, Minister, is this. When I say, can I, Undersecretary, where is the statement? People are running with papers. And I remember Equal Opportunities Commission was a bit lousy, but now you have improved. Thank you for improving. You improved, because the one time I had to put on a policy statement of finance and pretend that I was doing for Equal Opportunities. I went and whispered to the speaker. I said, no, I cannot come back here. Can I do this secretly? And she accepted. So I said, okay. The person who was helping me to carry was saying, but some of this. I said, don't, you go and place it there. Then I told them, now you can take your thing underground and put, but we must make the ministry work. I also want to thank the technical team, and especially Honorable Jududu. We shared the team. The Minister of Elders and Disability are going to have Prosper a jumbo in that team. There's a time I felt bad. I took people to check. The president was coming. Honorable Chidudu also expected the same president to go to Navy. And me control the commissioner. I told the commissioner, you're not leaving me alone. Chidudu is calling the commissioner said, what do I do? I said, I brought you first. Leave the old man, that's the constituency of the president. He can deal with this constituency. So we had to stay here. Good enough, the president gave me favor and didn't give his MP. So I managed to keep the president now in Chakwasi. He didn't go to whatever. But I have worked with him. We have shared this stuff. We have not quarreled. We have not knocked our heads. Our lines of work have been very clear. Because these are commissioners for disability and elderly. Our work plans have come out clearly. Honorable Judy, thank you so much. You even promised me lunch. So today after the handover, you'll find where to take me in the east, not in Kampala, when we're moving home, and we see what we shall do. What I want to say that for the Department of Disability, I think Honorable Balaam has said it, there's no money, but you must do a lot of network. Disability is not housed in the department. Disability is housed in Uganda. The whole government system must have disability. Whether you go to ICT, you go to judiciary, you go where. So you have to network it. And a lot of money is bits and pieces. I was happy this with good guidelines. Inclusion, we are seeing ICT as good guidelines for inclusion. So it's about how you are going to network. If you sit and wait for money, you will never work in this ministry. Find as you come. I will tell you, we had a cultural day in Soroti. In Soroti, they want to take care. I reached and I got the assistant commissioner saying, you know, they have not yet sent me money. I looked at her. I said, are the elders in the room? She said, yes. I said, no, whose breakfast is this for them? I said, we go. I entered that room. I didn't have even a paper written like this. And then protocol says, me, I'm representing Afande Salim Saleh. Minister, can we start? I started a topic which I didn't understand. And I started talking to these old people on issues of their responsibilities, issues of how to bring up young people. And somebody, the newsman asked me, where is the paper? I said it was on my head and I've already forgotten about it. But I saved the situation. If I was to sit there and say, me, you know, Honorable Amongi was coming, she was coordinating, and she was now, oh, can you rush now to the university? And I'm like, what do I go and say? I get the commissioner, no paper. She's looking for money. I said, no, money will get us here. We are going to be here for 7 days. Which man are you looking for? Let's first coordinate what? The program. I'm not sure people that the ministry was lacking. And that's the work. I want to appreciate this ministry. I've stepped everywhere, and Honorable Among, I will say, GROW is a good project here. Again, you will agree that I was the minister you called. I was in my home and she says, rush to finance. And I'm like, to do what? Thank God I've been in gender issues for women and all this. It's when I rushed there, then they said, now we can negotiate. Again, the same Among you sent me for the final meeting before World Bank. Said, go and finalize with top management of finance. I think this has been for me a very good training. At first I thought I was only coming to do issues of what? Disability. So I am very confident when I get out there that I'll do a lot. My sister Farida, we have been there in the council, even when I was a minister, because I am the longest serving council member of women for over 17 years to make that council stand. Even I remember when we almost wanted to push it out, my senior minister and peace were saying that term has ended. I said, no, they are not ending. They have to be here. They did not want to, they did not refuse to vote for themselves. We clashed with a bit of Kafusi until we remained with it, and they also agreed. So I want to say we have worked and worked well. And I want to say the new team coming, you are coming to work with human beings. This is a ministry where people have Even what they don't have, they think you have. They think you're a smaller God. When they will come to your office, everything will open. Somebody walks in, Honorable Asamo, now my leg has been cut during the campaign. Where is the artificial leg? They say, but it's not a hospital. You know, and somebody walks to you. Another one will walk in with a baby. This Honorable Balaam here used to really disorganize. I even told him that stop disorganizing. They come from my home, I want to work. Anybody who goes to his office, and maybe he pushes them to you. And you know when they come, transport. I have nowhere to go. I brought this baby, I have nowhere to go. And I think that is critical. And I think I will discuss with the incoming minister, Honorable Joyce, who is my sister. The good thing, she's a disabled. You're coming into the right office. But what I want to say, general to you especially, how to coordinate with them. We have homes for children. I think they're not children with disability. People of children, help me. Homes for children who are thrown away. We have children with what? Disabilities who have been like abandoned. Maybe they pick them on the road. They don't have, no parent wants to associate with disabled people. So they drop the children. Now, those children have gone 18, beyond 18 now, meaning that the homes cannot keep the children. It's a very big problem. Now the homes have asked us, where do we take the children? This ministry does not have homes to take the children. And these children don't have any background of a family member that you'd want to take them back. And it's a very big challenge. I went to one of homes and you get a child who was thrown, all the intestines are out, and I'm like, wow. Now like this one, even if it was me, I would fear. But I'm telling you, these people offer that service. But we have a big challenge in the law. I left when I'd written to the Attorney General, giving him that complaint, but I've not seen the copy. Because these homes are ready. They are ready to move. Some of them are saying, we can now take them either to vocational. There are some of them like the Catholics. They say, this is our family. We have stayed with the child for 18 years. We take it as a family. Could we come up with a policy shift where we allow these people, maybe now to build somewhere? We know the issues of teenagers and ABC, even disabled people are active, you know, when they reach a certain stage. So we need to separate them from. Where is this Shafiq? Shafiq should be having everything under the youth. He will give you the details. And it's the one even who came to me because my department deals more of adults. So the children deals with the children. Now when it reaches 18, they turn to you. So we moved, at least I moved around. I went to Namugongo, I've gone to Wakisa, I've gone where. That is a very big problem. These are Ugandans, whether they were thrown away, whether they are suffering, maybe we need to begin thinking, can we have homes here? And I know the PS, we went to South Africa. I hope that model could be brought and help the unprivileged, because that is the group of people we have handled. So that one, they say, Shafiq, what is the question of Shafiq? So, in South Africa, they created what they call a social protection, which was more inclusive. So that social protection, if you are like a veteran, you got a problem in the army, it still takes you through. If you are an elder, it takes you through. If you are disabled, it takes you through. So the government comes in with a system that helps these people at least to have a stipend. A stipend. I know we have come with a program for child benefit, but the design of that program does not look at those very children, and some money has been allocated by government, but we think the approach should see how we can handle it. So that's one of the biggest things I wanted to share with the minister, the big minister, so that you can take it up, because we have these children. The other children can be taken back to their community, but the disabled ones, nobody's taking care of them. They have been left there. So with these few remarks, I want to congratulate Honorable Balaam. Government, we are going back to local government, so you will be meeting some of us. I was even booking you that when you meet me in my local government, pull me, because you are now local. I'm also going. So we shall be meeting there. But we want to congratulate you for catching the eye of the president to local government. We clap for my son. This is my son. I also want to thank my sister here. My auntie, she has been taken back to local content. She must make sure that the Karama Jones who are my uncles and aunties, follow the right line of government. Those things which the Tumukundes fought for, the guns off, now that is your work. And you are going to see that our people, again, I'm available. You know that I worked in Karamoja for 7 years. We can come and we talk and see how we can try to train our people also to be like other Ugandans, beautiful as you are. Because for you are beautiful and the other Karamojans are beautiful as well. You just need to put them, all of them are beautiful. So we need, so with those few remarks, I want to welcome the new team. I want to wish you the best and pray that God guides you in these new offices of serving people. And we pray that everything will be fine as you start this new journey. Thank you so much.
To going, the minister now, incoming, outgoing, our permanent secretary, and all your technical team and the support team. I'm happy to be at this moment today. I'll begin by appreciating all those that are concerned. I will start with my senior minister. Thank you for giving us real leadership, harmonious and straightforward. We achieved our targets. We led the people of Uganda. It's the people's ministry. Let's clap for her. Honorable Minister, today it gives me an opportunity to give a vote of thanks to you. I've never had that opportunity. You have served this country as long as the presidency of our president. That therefore means you have been a student, you've been together until we reach this moment. Thank you and continue serving your people. Before I forget, I must focus on my successor. My successor, I'm happy with your choice. Not only are you my successor, you are an elder like myself. I became minister at the age of 72. And I can't grow younger. Age is irreversible. So you've come, you understand what an elder is, and my expectations are high. To our permanent secretary, you have impressed me the last 5 years. It's actually like Xi Jinping. You can't know his thoughts. You don't know whether he's happy, whether he's disappointed, whether he's what. And he has managed the technical people, and he has impressed me. Expressionless, you see. So, Honorable Minister, don't expect an expression from him. So today is a wonderful moment. You, the press, we are happy that you are around to see us off. For me, Jidudu, I'm now an elder, and I will remain an elder, and it's irreversible. I will continue growing older and older. But at the same time, when I look back at this ministry, I thank His Excellency. He gave me an opportunity to serve here. My honorable successor, we have been fighting for inclusiveness and visibility of the elders. You are working at vulnerability, you are looking at social protection, and so on. And these are people who are normally forgotten. And they will come to your office without transport to take them back. You must always have your own petty cash to make sure that you look after them. I would like Prosper to stand up. Prosper, stand up. Prosper is our commissioner, and he's done a good job. And I hope you continue, you guide the new minister, and hopefully we do better than we are doing. to my successor, we've done our best. As we talk now, Cabinet has directed to lower the age from 80 to 65, to increase the amount from 25 to 35. It's incumbent on you to make sure it is actualized, and it's a hard job. Finance has no feelings. It's really up to you, but good enough, you have a left who is honorable, work with him, and once you achieve that, it's good. The number of the elders will move from about 320,000 to about 1,400,000. That's a huge achievement. And to the staff, I'm really grateful. But as you realize, I'm not as young as you are, and I didn't mix a lot. And I may not be recognizing some of you when we meet, but you can always remind me, and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to talk and talk. I'm really happy. My colleagues have been wonderful. On my right is Honorable Samo. Further right, Honorable Nyakun. We are all from the east. When I look this way, the lady from the west, I don't think we are missing anybody. I had to have the one on my right last. This is my son. He calls me his father. And he told me when he's going for introduction, I should accompany him.
And we have waited in vain.
But Honorable Minister, me, I believe in dowry. And I pledge one cow when time comes. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to have Honorable Balaam. And I must congratulate you for this uplifting. You know, let me tell you a story. He was in Mbali. All the youths were around, and they were dancing. He wanted me to dance. So I said, I called upon one young man to dance on my behalf, and thank God he accepted, and he danced. So Balaam is a good human resource, and we hope God gives you the strength, the wisdom to help this country to attain what it attains. So,
Thank you.
Honorable Ministers, thank you very much. God bless you, and especially the outgoing minister, wherever you go, flourish. The incoming minister, the way you talked, the whip is coming. People must work, and when we work, the people will be happy. Thank you, and you, the incoming ministers, I wish you. The rest to my honorable minister, we shall have it in our office. Thank you.
You can hand over to Balaam now.
For giving me a cow, but he started with a fish pond. So now today he has downgraded to a cow. Maybe by next week it will now get to a goat.
Honorable Samo, Honorable Gidudu, the permanent secretary, the staff, the incoming ministers and ministers of state. I am privileged and honored to be here, and I think I'm lucky to have served here for the last 10 years. I have enjoyed your support, your professionalism, your counsel, your guidance, and you have made me a better person than what I joined here. I came with the zeal, the desire to work, with a lot of energy, and I'm going with the same energy, highly motivated. I'm happy about the comments you made, that I made gender equality non-negotiable. And I'm happy because that seems to be my passion that drives me throughout. To be specific, when I joined the ministry, female genital mutilation was at 3%. I'm happy that as I leave, the department or the ministry, it's now at 0.2%. I want to appreciate the development partners, UNFPA, UN Women, Mefumi, for this milestone achievement. I'm also happy that the physical violence, which was at about 64%, has now gone down to 10.2%. Although physical violence has gone down, economic violence has risen, which really shakes a bit of gender equality because it keeps coming in different forms and directions. Cybercrime is also rising very high, and informality is appearing so formal of late. This is quite dangerous to an institution of gender rights like our own ministry, where people lose confidence of even going to court and they begin resorting to naming and shaming on social media, and that seems to be a substitute for satisfying them. We need to support the different social groups that need our calling. I want to thank my colleague Balaam for walking the talk. The number of people he met on every Tuesday shocked me up to this time. And the number of communications he wrote, none of them were being followed. But I really thank you, because a new normal is one thing that you have turned around and has now defined you. No wonder as you rise up, it could have been the reason as to why you have been identified for now being a substantive minister for local government. I want to thank Honorable Samuel Helen. At some point, I had to go to professionalize in gender issues. So while I was pursuing my PhD, on a number of occasions, I requested Honorable Asamo to step in, and she never ever gave excuses, but supported me in that direction. I want to thank you so much with all the other colleagues. Now, my sister, Kamuri, you come from the same place, the Rwenzori area, where I also hail from. I want to request you to stand very firm on the fight against inequality. It will define you. Some people will scorn you, some people will harm you, will hurt you, will want to, but don't give up, because that is the calling, that is the reason you're here. Short of that, you'll not be relevant. I remember vividly when I started venturing into areas that were making quite a number of men uncomfortable on the issue of sharing property. For as long as you have a stake on that property, don't hijack another person's property, but for as long as you have a stake, it's your right to share in equal proportions, for as long as you really deserve to. It was my parents, my family, my husband, my children that were attacked first. But they have always remained supportive because they know what I stand for. I also want to thank my family for that. I want to thank those I served with in the ministry before. Honorable Franka Tumwebaze, who was the Minister of Gender, Honorable Warunzi Janet Mukwaya, who I joined with, were all very good former supervisors. There was also Honorable Sarah Kanyike, who was responsible for elderly persons and persons with disabilities. There was the Honorable Sarah Mateke, Nachuara Florence, Honorable Kamafonzachi, and Frederick Kutana, who served with me and with us in this ministry. I would have thought it was important to appreciate them now that I'm leaving the department. I live with a lot of memories for those very able people with Honorable Machodog, because they made a fundamental contribution. Honorable Mr. Vijermana Pius, who was our permanent secretary at the time, before Mr. Agre Chivenge joined us. I want to thank commissioners
Nakafero, Director Mpaji, Juliana, who retired recently, they gave very technical advice. In as much as we are all technical, there are these areas of expertise that you need to get from technical people. They hold a lot of institutional memory, but they also international obligations that we have signed as government that we must abide to. So they are very critical in supporting you with statements that speak to and consistently as we move on in the next journey. I want to express gratitude and also seek forgiveness where I did not match what you really wanted me to, where I offended you. Today, I officially hand over the leadership with confidence that the incoming team has a strong foundation where to base from. We have passed a number of policies. Actually, we are not in shortage of policies. Many of the communities around us, countries around us, come to benchmark on the policies. It is only the implementation that has a challenge. 2, understaffing. For example, labor. I'm sorry to venture even into labor where there's a minister for labor. The labor officers, I'm told we have about 50 something out of 140 something districts. How can they be effective? Community development officers. The community development officers who are supposed to drive mindset change, we are denied the responsibility to do that. We want to work together once with the local government. I hope my brother who is joining the local government now will consider gender. Because under that PDM, there were different pillars. Mindset change is what our ministry was designated to handle. We were only allocated 1 billion once out of about 20 billion shillings. Only once. From there on forthwith, there was only financial inclusion pulled out far ahead of other programs. No wonder when people get PDM, they marry the second wife. Because they do not know what to use it for. And some of them up to now believe that it is a government token of appreciation. They are not about to think of repaying that money. So you really have to work so hard to ensure that you instill that and inculcate it into their mindset. That is what the Ministry of Gender should have really done.
Honorable, can you conclude?
As I conclude, there are a number of challenges that we shall definitely handle together. Like Jonathan Mukunda stated, we are not going very far. We shall remain in the corridors. Just like he was out for a while and he has come back. It's the same way you will see our faces back in the subsequent period. We still have hope. We are still strong and energetic, and we shall continue serving. Whether in the private sector or in government institution, we shall remain around because we are stakeholders in this government and also in Uganda. But I want to thank you so much for the effort you have made and for the milestone you have moved us. You have made us bright, you have made us shine, and you have made the ministry remain at the top of its mandate. I thank you.